Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to Shanthan Jetty Art. I'm Shanthan Jetty and I am at work on Nosfero, the Crypt Walker, available right now on Indiegogo. So please check it out. The link's in the description. I hope everybody's having a good evening. I've had a good day, a wild day, and I was just watching a Netflix series called The Haunting of Hill House, which I believe to be a masterpiece with my kids who have never seen it. So we're a couple of episodes in, so no spoilers. In terms of, they don't know everything that's going to happen. And just a really impressive series. And, you know, I think one of the really great modern masterpieces of storytelling. It deals with trauma, forgiveness, pain, ghosts, the supernatural. It's an absolutely astounding piece of television, I guess we would say, although it's not really television, but and it's somewhat cinematic, but you get the idea. So I hope everybody's doing well tonight and having a good day, and I'm just working on this. Nosfero, the Crypt Walker, is almost to $6,000, so we're almost to 6K, and I don't know if they have a term for this inside of CG, but I'm hoping to get to, hey, Sumo Thori, how you doing, boss? I'm hoping that it will become or get to a five figures young lad or something like that. We should come up with something that's a little bit more attainable. But I'm absolutely thrilled, and thank you guys so much for your support. It means the world. As you can see right here, if I can keep it on frame, right now I'm working on. Let me see if I can get this light to do something. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. But right now I'm just working on these two figures for the large horizontal panel that's here, and we've got Nosfero the Crypt Walker. Let me move this a little bit and see if that helps. We've got Nosfero the Crypt Walker here, and he is, wow, that made me look more like a ghost there. Nosfero the Crypt Walker is here, and he is just come through this portal into this mire where he's surrounded by werewolves, and then of course he has rescued the damsel in distress, who is going to affect things. I was having a conversation earlier today about that whole aspect of heroism and kind of going outside of your of what you know and how that can affect you in terms of story. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, it's inspired by a Cane Corso, Peter Jackson's King Kong, and gosh, what was the other one? Hound of the Baskervilles, Cane Corso, Peter Jackson's King Kong, and I think that's it. But that's where it was born. All of those different influences. If you've seen my art books, which are also available on that Indiegogo, one of the things that you'll see is that I absolutely adore giant gorillas and King Kong. If you look behind me, actually, you can see the Frazetta book cover for the 1977 King Kong adaptation right there, and I love Frank Frazetta. And there's probably no less than, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 King Kongs and 3 Godzillas behind me right there. So, huge fan of that kind of stuff. So the fact that I wasn't gonna have a giant gorilla in this made me think, okay, I've got to put something that's massive like that into the story, because I love creatures, I love monsters, I love all that stuff. If you're tuning into this stream and you were in Shane Davis's stream, I'm going to apologize. This will be nowhere near as entertaining. That was absolutely hilarious and fantastic. I was just dying. I came in after it had already started, and I was cracking up. So, yeah, I've got to love Frazetta. Yeah, I'm a huge Frazetta fan. I came to him somewhat late, and it's been a very crazy couple of days, and my kids just turned 16, which was, just major, and I'm so proud of them, and then with the campaign and everything, and I just feel so grateful that everybody in CG has been really supportive and backed this project and are continuing to support and get the word out about this project. It's about so many things that I love. And it's nice to be around people who, I was just on Shane Davis's, or watching Shane Davis's stream. I wasn't on it, but I feel, still getting used to all the terminology. But I was just there, and Kenneth Rocafort was on, and, Philip Diaz was on there, and then, who else was on there? Shane, Patrick Thomas was on there. And I was just thinking about how nice it is to see books and see creators working and developing books that I myself am really excited about and really would like to see. And, it's a very cool thing to find people and find an audience that's, really into this stuff that I'm into. The pulp stuff, the hero stuff. I love Cyberfrog. Obviously, I like Graveyard Shift. And I'm looking forward to Inglorious Rex, because, again, it's a kaiju story, which I love, and there's just a lot of cool stuff being done. So to kind of find yourself in that company and be a part of something like that is really great. And really appreciate the support, particularly from Michael Bancroft and all those guys. They've been great to me, and I hope they're all doing well down in Australia. I know things are pretty intense right now. But yeah, what time is it here? It's about 2 in the morning right here, and I just finished watching, like I said, Shane Davis's stream, and I thought I should do a quick stream before I wrap up for the day and touch base and say hey to everybody. So again, I hope you guys are doing well. So, one of the things that is the fun part about this project for me is the story that I'm telling. And I was talking a little bit about it today and on past streams. But the whole idea of this book... Oh, let me see this. Oh, that was an epic stream. Yeah, okay. No, I'm never going to do that. I don't... Listen. Again, I know we all know this, but man, does... I am so happy for Shane and Yanzi's success. I can't even tell you. He's such a good dude. He works so hard. He delivers so much quality, and he just goes that extra mile. Amazing guy. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. The funny thing about it is that I think the main thing about it is it's the drawing aspect of it. When it comes to putting together this stuff, that's probably the biggest part of it, which is getting the fundamentals of the drawing down, and then I get more comfortable as time goes on. When I was working on this side of the panel right here, which I think a lot of you guys probably saw the other night, it's just kind of got there's a symphonic quality to how you put this stuff together, so that when you get to this side of the composition, where you've got our characters who are kind of emerging from this portal that allows Nosfero to travel from one place to another. I wanted a Batmobile, but it's almost like, in a sense, like that kind of thing. but it's like a living Batmobile. And for those of you guys who are familiar with your pulp, you'll know that Zorro had a horse called Tornado, and he, came out of this cave on it. And this is kind of, to me, Nosfero basically has his base of operations, which isn't very big. It's just where he crashes, essentially, and prepares to fight, vampires, is in an actual crypt, in a sort of a grave site that's sinking into this mire. And all of these characters have been sort of driven out onto it. So one of my favorite movies that I just watched the other day, it's an incredible movie about revenge, forgiveness, and getting rid of your anger. And it's a heavy movie I watch when my mood is in need of something heavy. It's a movie called Ben-Hur. I don't know how many of you guys would have seen it. Stars Charlton Heston, and he plays, Jewish nobility during the time of Christ, which is an incredible story. It's shot in a huge, wide format. It is just a brilliant work of art. And I was watching that, and I was thinking about how that sort of cinematic world inspires me so much in terms of my storytelling. So I'm always thinking about these things in terms of visuals. But in that story, excuse me, there are all of these people who have been sort of driven out to the fringes. And in many ways, that's what these werewolves are. They've been driven out into the fringes. And Nosfero is this character who he lives on the fringes of where, society is, essentially. Where the vampires are, where the characters who live in the, so-called, human world. I mean, they're kind of somewhat human characters. Even the vampires have that quality. And so he's on the outside of it. And so these characters who've had their sort of fall from grace now live in this mire. And that's basically what our story's about. And so as I'm putting, these characters together, that's what I'm thinking about. And I have to tell you, it's funny when people... I appreciate, what you're saying about my gouache use and my watercolor use, but this is the thing. And you obviously probably know this, but I was not working this way when I was in college. This is something that I had to learn, and this is something that I've worked on. But you have to understand, I wasn't just not good at it. I was terrible at painting and terrified of it too. I mean, I think if you have enough bad early experiences painting, it can really psych you out of it. Like, what's the best way I could word this? I don't know a lot of people who have a lot of, other than I was saying on a stream today where I was talking to somebody about getting stabbed in the face with a pencil when I was a kid, and the guy broke the lead off. He was a blind swing when I had him in a headlock, and he hit me right in the face. And I was telling somebody, so you can't have a bad pencil experience, but I find that most people aren't nervous about drawing in pencil. When people go to paint, there's something about them that gets totally psyched out about it. And one of the things I've loved about teaching, and one of the things I love about talking about this kind of stuff, is to take away that mystery of it and kind of help people to see that it's really not... It is difficult, but if just like giving Photoshop to somebody, there's so much involved that it'd be just as easy to me anyway to get frustrated and confused by digital. And I think I was lucky that I was miserable at both of them at the same time, so I was able to kind of learn them together. But I actually love Photoshop, and I love digital work, so yeah, big fan of both digital and traditional. And I use both to do these books. Have to, because it's 2021, y'all. That's how it works. So I'm just roughing in her figure, and again, let's do some Bob Ross here for a minute. It's our world. And this is the thing about it, guys. You don't have to fear making mistakes with this. I know it's natural to feel that way, but it's only because our understanding of the media puts us in a situation to where we're going to think, oh no, I can't fix this, this is traditional. Well, if I can take away one concern that people have about this, or contextualize it a little differently, is while I can make a big mistake when I'm working, I have never had a piece of watercolor paper crash and lose all my work. Now, I have had that happen when I'm working in Photoshop. So yes, I have a little bit more freedom to do certain kinds of things in Photoshop and Illustrator, definitely, that I can't do here, but everything has its trade-off. The thing that makes digital harder than traditional in some ways that people don't think, and actually I think they may have a similar difficulty here, is that you have the ability to endlessly rework things, to zoom in and zoom out, and sometimes it can be so difficult to know when to stop. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's great. I've been thinking a lot about work, and I don't know if anybody in the chat wants to see this, and we've got 4 people watching, and we've got 4 likes. Only if it's unanimous, if 4 people give me a 1 in the chat, I will show you, I will damage your ears permanently. So ponder if you want this, by showing you something that I've been working on, which is just over a year ago, I decided that a lifelong dream I had was to learn the violin. So I went from not knowing how to play the violin to wherever I am right now. So if you want to hear me show you what just 1 year of knowledge is like, you can and see how painful it is to not know how to do something. I'd be happy to show you that. But I want you guys to know that I'm 45 years old. And my attitude is always learn. It's the most important thing you can do. It's the most rewarding thing you can do. And I don't let my fear of messing up, which I would love to show you those early videos when absolutely. Okay, so I've got 1-1. I'm going to need a few more, though, in order for that to happen. Okay, Sumo's got a 1 in there. Oh, shit. So we've got 2 1s. There you go. Only 2 is not going to get you there. So we'll see. I'll give you guys some time to sort that. Uh-oh. All right, Steven. Shit. I've got 3 1s in there. Oh, this isn't looking good for me. All right. Well, so 3 1s, though, ain't going to do it. So there you go. Oh, crap. So we'll see as I work. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, if I get 4 1s in there, I'll give it a shot. I'll embarrass myself by showing you what I know, and show you that I am committed to failing in a direction in the pursuit of knowledge. Because at the end of the day, these aren't the things that we want to, miss out on in our lives. Will I ever be a concert violinist? Nope. It's never going to happen. But the only way I'll ever experience playing the violin is if I pick it up and learn it. All the concert violinists in the world cannot give me the experience of actually learning how to play. And it's why I took boxing for so long. Oh, shit. All right. Did you guys conspire secretly? All right. Let me see what I can do. This is going to be a little tricky, though, because it may mess with the setup. But, all right. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. All right. Hang on 1 second here. Let me see what I've got. This is going to be bad, just so you know. But you asked for it. So, oh well. Here you go, kids. Let's see what we can do. So, the reason why I wanted to learn how to play the violin was when I was in school, when I was a kid, I was really fascinated by, oh jeez, I was really taken aback by Ken Burns' Civil War documentary, and I watched that, and there was this song called Ashokan Farewell, and I told my my violin teacher that I wanted to learn it. So I can't play it very well. I can't play much of it, but I have been practicing. So it's going to start off terrible. It's going to end terrible, but you guys asked for it, so here we go. Let's see if I can do it with the sweater collar. I'll blame the collar of this sweater if it doesn't work out. Hang on. there you go. That's what I've got for you for this evening. So, this is what I do to try to make sure that I am... Thank you. This is what I do to make sure I'm still learning and still gaining ground. And whenever you're trying to learn something, whenever you're fumbling in a direction, remember that what my attitude was a year ago is that I know how to fall down 7 times and get up 8. So this all started with Mary Had a Little Lamb being played terribly as opposed to Ashokan Farewell. Yeah, well, that is, you know what's so funny is, Sumo, I think that should be my epitaph, one of my many epitaphs I come up with for myself, you know? I think it should be not as bad as he sounds. Sean Finchetti, not as bad as he sounds. But this is the thing, right? I've been working at this for a year. I've been realizing my left hand, because my left arm is broken, or when I was really young, it's really crooked. And so one of the things that I do, and one of the reasons why I started really seeing violin was useful to me, is it helps me to build up. Shane in sumo is breathtaking. Okay, that is sublime. That is aesthetic arrest, my friends. But yeah, I mean, I figure I gotta entertain you guys somehow, right? So watching somebody try something new, the thing about the whole, violin thing for me is we get to kind of see people trying to learn. And I think that's important. I can't build a time machine and take people back to show them how bad I was, when I first started painting and how terrible it was, because the worst thing, well, maybe it's not the worst thing, but one of the most frustrating things about gaining skill in something when you were really bad at it is you want to inspire people and say, hey, you could do this. You can learn this. You'll be able to do everything I'm able to do if you just, follow these steps and work hard. But for me, whenever I'd see someone who had learned how to do something, it was always so hard to believe they were ever bad at it. Yes, that is it. Oh my God, Michael, you've got it. Yeah, it was Ashokan Farewell from the PBS documentary. That is one of the things I lived. Yes, Bogan in the house. Bogan in the house. So, yeah, and it's good to see you. Yeah, when I was to me, my violin teacher's name is Jeremy. Terrific guy, a real dude, and he plays the viola, which I learned is kind of the more alto, bigger instrument, and more alto version of violin. And when I first started taking lessons with him, I said, my dream is to learn how to play that. And for my birthday, he played it for me on his viola and said, I'm going to show you the basics of how to learn this. And I tell you guys, I got choked up. I really did. I was just I never thought I would be in this music world in any, even in a tiny way. And the first time he played a harmony where I played along with him, and I heard our violins playing together, and this is on Zoom, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. It's a miracle. It really is. People who play instruments, it's such a miraculous thing to me, and understand it as a fan. It's the same way it was when I took some boxing lessons for a while. I'm never gonna be able to do anything competitive or serious with it, nor would I want to risk my hands and brain. But it gave me an appreciation of the sport, in a powerful way. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's awesome. Wow, that's crazy. So you play poker. Have you ever seen the completely blind card mechanic? He calls himself a card mechanic and not a magician, and he's incredible. He does martial arts, and he's able to deal seconds, all of these things in ways where you cannot see him work, and he can guess what cards you have based on understanding the number. It's unbelievable. He's completely blind, and it's unreal. You know, it's funny too, because it's like I always say this, is that when you see people who are really I don't know how to word it. I said this to Michael when I got the Lucent in the mail, and I saw the print quality and the colors, everything in it was so beautiful. It was such a aesthetically wonderful piece, and I remember thinking, you know, it just puts wind in my sails. And it's the same thing when I was looking at some of Kenneth Roquefort's work that he was showing today on Shane's stream. Oh gosh, one of the biggest inspirations of the day was seeing the 2 pages that Aaron Lepresti posted for Wraith of God. God, God, that's funny. Those pages look magnificent. I was really impressed by what he's doing on Wraith of God. If you haven't backed that book yet, go check it out. I don't know if I have any... Oh, hang on a second here. I've got Steve Rockwood in here. One sec. Let me see what I can do here. I've yet to figure all this out, tragically. Hang on a second here. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can pull this off, guys. Be patient with me here. And I'll see if I can do this. Kill the audio here. Scroll. And... let me see. I don't know if I know how to do this. Well, let me see here. Yes. Hang on a second. I want to go here. I gotta find it. Hang on a second. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it yet. Steve Rockwood, at some point, for all of your amazing service, I've got to get you a wrench in here. So remind me to do that. All right. Yeah. I mean, seriously, Michael. It's a great book. It's a great artistic accomplishment. And you know what's crazy too is I was looking at gosh, let me see if I can get this to work here. But when I was looking at the Graveyard Shift supplemental book the other evening, and I was looking at, you know, Rob Arnold's story in there, I mean, it really is. I just realized I've got another camera here. It was really amazing, you know, to watch and to read his story and read his work. And, you know, we joke about it, obviously, after the Ethan stream about, you know, the artist thing aspect of it. But, you know, it really is one of the fun things about getting the books is that you see a lot of the artwork in progress, but you can't really see the story in progress as easily. And that kind of hits you like a tidal wave all at once. You know, you get to see what people are doing as writers, as creators, when they do their work, and you see the finish. And I got to tell you, that was... I really thought that was great work. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, it is... You guys know this. It is no small task. I mean, I was on a stream today, and I was showing my art books, and I was talking about, how doing 2 art books, how much that's taught me, and how much it is when you don't have anyone who's like saying you have to get it done, right? You do an Indiegogo, and you have just, your commitment to getting it done for your backers, and then your motivation to do the project. It's a whole different ball game. And what I love, and I'm seeing in CG all the time, is we're going for it, and I know, when people fall behind on, what their estimated time of shipping is, I totally get that. It is certainly a very complicated time right now. But when I look at the care, like Ethan's and artists like that, they already have the money. If they had no scruples, they could just, God, I'm trying to think of an expletive I feel comfortable using at the moment. I have no problem with expletives typically, but they could just crap out some junk and say, well, I gave you the 40 pages I promised you, but Ethan is cross-hatching and working on the story and adding pages as if... there's this quote about Floyd Mayweather that Zab Judah had, another excellent boxer, and someone said, what's the secret? Why Floyd beat him in a fight, way back in the day, and said, what's the secret to Floyd Mayweather? Why is he so good? And Zab Judah said, it's because he trains like he's broke. He trains like he's broke, like he doesn't have any money in the bank. And I think that everybody in CG, no matter how well their campaigns do, and I'm hoping to make it at least to a 5 figures young lad before this whole thing is done. We'll try that one. It's like 6 figures young lady, and then we'll do 5 figures young lad. I think that sounds good. But when I'm doing this stuff, I'm going to draw it like my life depends on it. I'm going to paint it like my life depends on it. Because I just think that's the only way some of us know how to do their work. Really trying to put that extra time into it. And so, yeah, it's very inspiring to see what everybody is doing. And people, I mean, you're right, bringing visions to life. Like, this isn't just, there's all the amazing collaborations of colorists and pencilers and inkers, people wearing many hats. That goes for YouTube streams and all of our folks who are mods and wrenches, who are, making sure that things are fun and lively and interesting. It's just great. It's great to see people working together to make the community of artists and whatever this fellowship is that we've got, continue to grow and continue to expand. And you guys inspire me and make me laugh, and I appreciate it. It's what we need, I think, sometimes. Yep. Yes, totally. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, there's... Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of funny because when you're doing stuff for your backers, and I know I feel this way too, I want something that is... Yes, it absolutely can be. The Hound can absolutely be a choice for the watercolor tier. Done. Consider it done. And this is the thing about it, right? All right, take care, my friend. Excellent. Yeah, have a good evening. This is the thing, right? It's I want something like, I'm gonna have this book in a lot of ways. It's like a movie. I'm gonna have this book forever. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of any of these books I've backed. It's like they're in their art. And I put this the best way I can. These are more than just things that someone made, and then I have a choice to buy it or not. These are something I actively have got to participate in, helping this artist make their vision come true. And yeah, I want them to be beautiful. Like, if Snowman: A Cold Day in Hell takes some extra time for Matt Martin to get that beautiful hatching in there, I'm there. If Ethan has this vision and Kyle Ritter has this vision they're trying to do, I am there. That's those guys. I mean, I think, and that's what it is with me. I promise you this book is going to be something that you take out and look at all the time. And I want you to be looking at it and thinking to yourself, like, wow, this is art. And when I say art, I don't mean art in the pretentious sense. I mean art in the sense of just giving you a feeling of aesthetics. Something I was saying today. Hey, Reagan Lodge, good to see you. Aren't you tired of me yet? You should be exhausted. But it's one of those things to where, one of the things I was speaking with earlier, funny enough, on the stream, is that people don't realize that the purpose of art is to create an aesthetic experience, and that the opposite of aesthetic is anesthetic. Anesthesia. Something that numbs you. Great artwork should wake you up. And I was listening to Michael Bancroft talking the other day, and he was talking about, on his stream, or was it on your stream, or was it on... Oh, that's an interesting one. I just thought about that. Was it on Rob's stream or was it on your stream? You'll have to let me know. But you were talking about the idea of comics committing the sin of being boring. And I would say the perfect way to distill that is they're an anesthetic experience. They might try to agitate you. They might try to be political in nature. But at the end of the day, it's irrelevant. It's just boring. And it's anesthetic. It puts you to sleep. It doesn't wake you up. It's like listening to a lecture. A boring lecture. And that's the thing I've been really thinking about a lot lately is comics have become anesthesia, anesthetic, not aesthetic. And we want to bring aesthetics to it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's something that I forget the far more intelligent person than me that I heard break it down. It could have been Joseph Campbell. It could have been any number of people. I feel like it was Campbell, but I could be wrong. And I remember thinking, wow, that is a absolutely amazing observation, I don't know, fact, reality of the linguistic that makes me think about everything I do as an artist in a whole new light. And I can't state that enough. Your goal for your backers, your goal for the people who are supporting these books is to excite them with the aesthetic so much that they want to buy it, they want to tell their friends to buy it, and they want to tell their friends to tell their friends to buy it. Like, let me back this book, let's make this thing happen because we need to see it, and we want it to be a huge success so that the artists and the people who are surrounding us right now know that we're serious about creating artistic range. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we have a lot of range in Comicsgate right now. We do. In the independent market. That's what the independent market's supposed to be. That's right. I think, look, if you guys want to know who, like, my biggest go-to brother in Comicsgate is, when I'm like, hey man, what do you make of this? What do you think of this? What, blah, blah, blah. Michael's my guy. So, yeah, he's, I know you know he's a good egg, so I know it's all in jest. But it's just like, even though I know, Sumo, that you're ignored oftentimes. But I just think that we're all sitting here, we're all drawing, we're all trying to make things that are beautiful for people and trying to inspire people. And that's critical. You know, anywhere we can go to put something out there that is better than the void, better than articulate nihilism, but stuff that is hopeful in a rich and sort of powerful way. You know, one of my favorite stories ever written, and it was such a part of the common culture, I never thought about it. It's such a strange thing when something becomes so big you don't think about it, is A Christmas Carol. It has become a part of the cultural landscape of Christmas, and it's a ghost story. It's fit to be a Halloween story in that sense. And it's got time travel in it. It's got all of this kind of stuff, but what it's ultimately talking about is opening up your heart to charity and humanity. That's about as, sort of I'm looking for, as sweet in some people's minds, maybe saccharine, an idea as you could possibly put out there, but it's bare knuckle. Like, that's a brutal story. It's as, brutal as, my gosh, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow or something like that, interestingly enough, with Patrick Thomas Parnell. And that stuff, when it's like, these are the children that these children are symbolic of what you've abandoned. Look at yourself. Do you know what I mean? And heavens, Moriarty, what's his name? Oh God, not Moriarty. God, I can't believe I'm blanking on Ebenezer Scrooge's. Someone help me in the chat. What was the name of his partner? Jacob Marley. Got it. So when Jacob Marley's looking at him, he's like, these are the chains I forged in my life. Like, that is some brutal stuff. And it's not too late for you. I've seen your chains. It's not too late for you. And that's a powerful message. That's a message that makes you want to get up, go outside, and make a change in your life and be a better person. And beauty and aesthetics inspire me. There's a secret part of CG that, I don't know if it's a secret part. It's an overt part, but it's a part that a lot of people don't know about, and by God, I know I need it, is the part that's about getting healthy and trying to get back in shape and do some cardio and not eat crap, which is really kind of funny. But that's one of my favorite things about it. I mean, all of us have watched, Cecil's incredible transformation as he's, really worked on himself and really put himself out there. And I think that kind of stuff is so great for people to put out into the world. Like let's get this together, for the love of God. Let's stop treating ourselves like crap. And of course, Graham Nolan is not exactly helping any of us feel better. So if you're sensitive and feeling down about your lack of fitness, do not start with Graham Nolan as your role model, because that guy is a beast. He's amazing. Love Graham Nolan too. A really decent guy. When he was talking about marriage on one stream, and I posted that on the day it was my wife and my 21st anniversary, and Graham wrote in the chat, he was like, or in the comment section, he was like, "Happy anniversary." And I just thought, what a good dude. What a good dude he is. And of course, Aaron and Shelley Lopresti have been just really great in terms of their whole handling of everything with grace and really kind of a nobility. And I really appreciate, when I was doing the intro, the Apocalypse Now intro for Aaron Lopresti, the thing that was kind of, fun for me about it, or a challenge in some ways and also fun, was I knew that Aaron did not want something to be, I don't know, that would fit him, that would be funny. And for some of the guys like Cecil, there's there's such a lore there, where do you go with it? And so I worked really hard. I wanted to make Aaron's something that he really enjoyed, and I had no idea he was a fan of the Apocalypse Now movie, or the posters or anything, or Brando. And when I do his actual intro, I'm looking at clips of Brando. I want him to be happy with it. I want him to enjoy it. Same thing with Shane Davis's. I wanted those guys to enjoy it. And the same thing with this book. I want my backers to enjoy it. Guys, we're almost to, think about this, we're almost to 6,000. We're almost to 6K. That's more than halfway to 5 figures. And we've got 2/3 of the time left. Now, I want to make the most out of this time. I want to get the word out there. I want people to understand the story. So if people have questions about the story and things, they go, that would help me to explain it to people a little better. I'm working on doing another video. I've just got so many, obviously, like all of you do. I'm not gonna whine about it. But I've got, all those different aspects of the campaign and the art making going. So do let me know. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you know what it is, guys. When it came to that, it's like, I always think of it this way. The whole goal that Ethan puts out there when he's doing Comic Artist Pro Secrets is he really wants everybody to have a good time. I remember when he was talking about the Beatles, he was referencing the Beatles about his streams, and he was saying how when they were playing, I guess it was in Hamburg, they were playing in a bar, and this guy kept screaming at them in German, Mach Ciao, I think it was Mach Ciao, which was make a show. And Ethan has always, strived. And so Shane Davis, perfect example tonight, John Malin as well, the Jack Show, Cecil, they've all really worked hard to entertain you so you get excited about books. And what do they do on their streams? They talk about other people's books and promote other people's books. So one of the things I'm excited about, if I get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel, is, I can do it before then, obviously, but I will have the opportunity to have people on the show and do the same kinds of things that are being done for me right now. Paying it forward, all that stuff. This is super important. It's super important. And this Denzel Washington quote I like, which is, don't just aspire. What was it? Gosh, I love the quote. It was something the gist of it is aspire, to make a difference. And being a part of something that is, I think, really making a difference in the lives of creators. And I recognize and have humility and about is that it has the opportunity to make a difference in my family's life. You guys are in a really unique position to support this artwork, and it will really impact our family, and it's when my wife wakes up in the morning, she goes and she checks to see how many backers we have. We had 2 more this morning. I was on Twitter, I was just doing all these various things, and when she sees that, it's such a shot in the arm. You know, it's such an inspiring thing to see. And that's kind of, to me, that's the real joy of it, is I'm going to work hard at the desk anyway. And so that's never going to change. But it is really great to see that the support for the book. I mean, we have so many dreams and so many things that we want to accomplish with this. And, you know, when I got involved in CG and launching this book, but even before then, you know, my attitude was, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Make a difference. Try to help people. Try to help people entertain. Try to help people, you know, have a better day. Feel inspired. And so, yeah, for me, that's it. I mean, when I'm illustrating this castle and I'm doing research on castles, the thing that's really cool about it to me is, and it's you know, not even done yet, but is creating that scope and that atmospheric perspective so that people are looking at this thing and going, oh my gosh, I feel like, oh gosh, someone posted, and if you're in the chat, please, you know, identify yourself. But someone wrote, when I posted that image, listen to them, children of the night, because there was a werewolf by a castle, and that is exactly what I was thinking about you know, the original Dracula film, by Universal's original Dracula film. And I said to him, you get me. You get this whole thing. You get what it's about. And that's the joy of it. That is the joy of it. And every time somebody backs this book, it's so inspiring for us, guys. And we appreciate it so much. That's just the way, you know, that's certainly the way I'm engineered. And it's, you know, it's nice to be also in a community where I feel really excited, enthusiastic about the success of what I guess I'd call my colleagues, you know, in that sense. And seeing them do well, and you know, knowing that Shane and Yanzi have a baby on the way, and Inglorious Rex has been such a great success, and Starlight Cats has been reviewed so well. It really is nice to see. Oh my gosh. Oh, tell him I said thank you. Yeah, tell your friend I said thank you. It's yeah, I mean, guys, we're on this you know, we're on this planet, we're in this space right now, and we're, of all the unlikely scenarios that could happen, we've ended up here at the same time, during the same, you know, time period. And every, you know, time, every generation that kind of comes through has a chance to take the knowledge of previous generations and take the progress we've made and move it forward. And I always say that it was a profound, you know, the movie Gandhi, which I saw when I was a kid, had a profound impact on me, because I was really young when I saw that. And I remember thinking about just some of the concepts in that really got me thinking. You know, like another movie that got me thinking was, I remember when I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater. So I was born in 1976 in September, so late in the year. And that movie came out in 1983, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember watching the end of that movie, and here's this villain, Darth Vader, who all of a sudden has turned on a dime and, you know, saved Luke Skywalker. And I'm kind of shocked because Luke got beat up, and he says, he's trying to get him out of the Death Star, and he goes, I've got to save you. And he says, you already have, Luke. And I thought, like, as a kid, obviously I know what that means now, but as a kid I was like, going, wow, like, he's not talking about it in a literal fashion. He's talking, or depending on, he's talking about it in a spiritual fashion. And I always think, show me, like, match me in terms of cosmic horror and everything else. Show me the positive equivalent. You know, is it, I mean, I could probably say, like, some things that could work in that story is, in terms of intensity, would be the ghost of Christmas past, present, future. That's some cosmic level time traveling stuff right there. And so I know it can be done. Heavens knows Dickens could do it, and I believe you were talking to me about, what was it called? That Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis. which my wife was asking me about it when she saw that, and she goes, "Oh, we should check that out." So I'm going to be checking that one out. But yeah, I mean, guys, what if we could make the aesthetics of beauty, the aesthetics of all of these things, and the descriptive virtuosity that we use to create these worlds just as gripping and captivating as it is when we describe something in horror, something terrifying, something scary? What is that aesthetic moment? Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, Michael, those movies, those were big. Those were big. I don't think that, and I'm very, very grateful. I always say that I don't think I could ever explain to someone what it was like to when Star Wars was something that was being made, when George Lucas was creating these movies with his team at ILM and everything else like that. It's a bit like there's a generation that will only know Harry Potter books as these books that are all done, as opposed to waiting for the next chapter to be written, having it be a midnight event. Ethan makes a lot of references to Harry Potter when he talks about things, and one of the things I want to get better at, Michael knows what I'm talking about, is both the launch and the countdown to the end. Because I think that is a really important thing. And I didn't understand it because it's insane to think about people being excited about a launch of a book if it's not been your experience, All my Indiegogo campaigns have funded and they've passed their funding goal, but it's been, it's just the daily work, Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, if they made you feel it. My wife is a big Star Trek fan, and one of the things about that is that she was a Next Gen fan. She likes all Star Trek, but that was the one that was big and on television. And she just talks about the best of was it not the best of both worlds? It was was that what it was? But the one with the Borg, the cliffhanger with the Borg, and she was like, that just was excruciating to witness, to have to wait to see what happened to Captain Picard or Riker and all of them. Yeah, I can't believe I can't think of what that was. Yeah, I mean, it's Return of the Jedi is and Empire Strikes Back and all of those movies had just such a... I guess the closest thing people will ever know to that experience who were born after it was how long fans waited to see the actual Luke Skywalker again. In that... I'll say it. In the season finale of The Mandalorian. I mean, I was watching friends of mine, grown men, tearing up to that. They just couldn't believe it, because for a lot of us, depending on what background or experience you came from, this may have very well been your male role model that you had in your life. And if you had a great male role model in your life, that's fantastic. That's great. I would want everybody to have that. But if you didn't really have someone you could model yourself off of really well or easily, in terms of who's you knew what they believed, you understood their flaws and all that sort of stuff. Luke was a major deal, and I don't think I put that into strong enough terms. And I think that's the same way a lot of us feel about our superheroes. That's the same way a lot of us feel about the entertainment that we consume and what heroes mean to us. And one of the things that I enjoy is, even though, Cyberfrog originally came out in the 90s, I will always be forever grateful that I was there when Cyberfrog launched. I was there, and I'm sure I'm going to feel the same way about CG, that I was here, I was in CG, that I was doing it during this time. I don't think I'll ever look back and regret it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. No way. Because the people that I've already met and the people who have been really supportive, and the people who have made great work for me, the people I've watched, succeed and be frustrated and have to work through all of this stuff, have really made that journey worth it. There we go. Just gonna rough her hair in right there, because he's carrying her as he sort of whisks her way into this. I mean, I didn't read Snowman when it was out in the 90s, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure if I have a lot of interest in the back issues because I want to see the new stuff. Andy Smith's First Man was, it's been great, and I love that. I'm excited about First Man 2, Learning Curve. Look at these 4 people. That's what I'm excited about. And yeah, it's interesting, Sumo. I will absolutely, if you're still with us here, I will absolutely do a watercolor, head sketch of Phantomas, or if that's what you're interested in. I have no problem doing that. Happy to take care of my customers with stuff like that. It's fun. It's why we do this. It's the difference between ordering something from a major corporation and ordering it from a person who's running their business. And the coolest thing about it is none of this would be possible if it wasn't for backers. The people who back these books and back all these perks, they're doing something that is, it's not unheard of in the history of the world by any stretch. I'm sure all this stuff has been done before, but they're doing something that has not really been the case in my living history, which is to say, they are investing in an idea. And there's a lot of faith in that, and there's a lot of there's something really rich about what you're getting out of it. As both an artist and as a backer, what you're responsible for with this thing, and that's what it's about. Let me see here. Getting her ready to be sort of held in his arms. I'll see if I can put this in a way where people can see it a little better. But yeah, this is how stories come together. This is what leaving this temporal void is, and this is one of the many werewolves who are kind of hanging out here on the edge, on the brink of civilization. And they stand sort of in the shadow of this castle home that was once theirs, that they've lost. And it's within eyesight. It was really important to me that it was within eyesight for them, because I was listening to, and maybe this would be a good place to kind of wrap things up on this note, because it's almost 3 a.m. here. But it's one of the things I thought was interesting is Mike Tyson, boxer Mike Tyson, was talking about his hero, who's Achilles, and I was thinking about Achilles today, and I was thinking about Patroclus. And I was thinking about the situation of Patroclus being in this position, suddenly wearing Achilles' armor, to drive the Trojans off the beach, and then he could just see the gates of Troy there, just waiting. Like he wanted to seize the gates of Troy, but he had been told by Achilles, do not do that. Pull back, just drive him off the beach. And it's an amazing thing to me that idea, that difficulty that they created in that narrative of the character going, but I'm a lifelong, warrior, and this is my chance to finally live the glory that comes so easy to Achilles, whom I respect deeply, but I would love to experience that. And there's this kind of wild hubris in those kinds of stories. And I think about, and also the tragedy of it. And so when I'm writing and I'm thinking about these stories and I'm thinking about what we put together, thinking about these characters who are driven off into the fringe, it's those frailties and it's those, narrative points that are going to make these stories that much better and make these worlds that much more breathtaking. So in a lot of ways, for these werewolves that have been driven out of their kingdom and are now essentially, in the role of untouchables by, the social sort of structure of India's history, I hope, You know, I hope Gandhi was able to at least make some, you know, inroads on that are long lasting. But they're seeing this castle and it's so close. They feel like they could just taste it. They could retake it, but of course they can't. They know they don't have the power to do that. That's why they were driven out to begin with. And so that is sort of the poetic, mythological quality to this story. So guys, it is 3 in the morning now. I just had to stream because I just watched Shane's stream and I had a great time with it, watching it. And I thought I got to give people, if anyone's interested, I'll have a chaser stream, to do it night, just to thank you guys again for your support. Please keep helping me get the word out about Nosfero. I appreciate it. I am so grateful for it. And hail to the chat, hail Comicsgate. Love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for having my back. And you guys will see me very soon in the chat of every stream you're in. Whenever you're in a Comicsgate stream, you're going to see me in there. And when you see me in a Comicsgate stream, please feel free to say hi. I always love to do it. I love to say hi back. I love to see you guys because that's what makes it fun. All right, Stephen Rockwood, thank you so much. I promise I'm going to figure out a way to make you a mod. I just have to find your YouTube channel and everything like that. Sumo Thori, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, and you're right. Hail to the chat. Absolutely. And hail CG. All right, my brothers and sisters, I've got to bail. I am so completely exhausted. Thank you for being here. Indeed, Lord Crackhead 33, brother, it's good to see you. Hail to the chat and hail to Lord Crackhead 33. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. SDA, everybody who's in the chat, Michael Bancroft, everybody who's been here tonight. Love you guys. Have a great evening. And go out there and let's bring some aesthetics out into the world. Let's help people to feel inspired, and let's not put people to sleep. Corporations and big companies in entertainment, they've got that covered. We can do better. All right. Peace, my brothers and sisters. I will see you soon. Okay. Take care and have a great evening.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me!